Hello everyone, this is Dr. R.S.N. Sharma, Associate Professor in Commerce, CHSD St. Teresa's College for Women, Eluru. Now we are going to discuss about RBI, Reserve Bank of India, which is the apex institution in our Indian financial and monetary systems. These two systems are controlled and they are under the supervision of Reserve Bank of India. It is the apex institution, means it is the highest institution providing various services for the development of economy. We have discussed the functions of commercial banks in the previous sessions and various types of banks, commercial banks, cooperative banks, and the systems of banking, like various types of banks we discussed. All these banks accept deposits and lend loans from the public. Of course, most of the banks, they provide various services also. They contribute a greater part for the growth and development of our economy. But the smooth functioning must be ensured. They must work according to the rules and regulations or norms framed out by the system, and from time to time they may be changing. Accordingly, they have to act upon. So, to supervise their functioning, there must be one organization which controls all the banks and which supervises the activities of all the banks in country is central bank. In India, our central bank is Reserve Bank of India, RBI. In every economy, we can see the financial services. Financial service is related to finance, as the wording itself indicates. It is an element of financial system. If financial services are effective and efficient, financial system will also work efficiently. The economic development of country depends upon financial system and monetary system also. Monetary system is nothing but the system through which the government provides or supplies money. So on all these systems and institutions, RBI will have a very good control, because it is necessary time to time. It has to give directions to all banks, and accordingly the banks have to move forward. Like that the process goes on. What about the history of Reserve Bank of India? Before it was established, what has happened? What steps were taken to establish central bank? In the British India, British ruled our country for 200 years. During that period, also we had, though we had suffered a lot, we had dealt many financial transactions through banks. At that moment, many efforts were made to establish the central bank. There are some series of events in the history of Reserve Bank of India. Now let us see. Reserve Bank of India is the central bank Reserve Bank of India is the central bank of India. It is the apex institution of Indian financial and monetary systems. When compared to central banks in other countries, the Reserve Bank of India is younger. In all over the world, in every country, there is one central bank. If you see them, out of the all central banks, RBI is the younger one, but the most powerful central bank. It came into existence on 1st April 1935. What is the brief history of Reserve Bank of India? Already we discussed in the introduction. In British India in 18th century, many attempts were made to establish a central bank. Of course, many trials were made, but it happened really in practice. It became possible in the year 1921 by the establishment of Imperial Bank of India. In 1921, Imperial Bank of India was established. How it was established? This happened by the amalgamation of three presidency banks. Imperial Bank was established by amalgamation of three presidency banks. Those are Bank of Calcutta, Bank of Bombay, and Bank of Madras. What is the main object of this amalgamation? You know, assuming the responsibility of Central Bank of India. What functions a central bank has to perform? It has to perform. With that assumption, by combination, by amalgamation of all the three banks, presidency banks, Imperial Bank of India was established in 1921. We are going through the series of events in the history of Reserve Bank of India in this section. In 1927, Hilton Young Commission on Indian Currency and Finance. This commission was established, the commission was appointed on Indian currency and finance. That commission recommended a new bank, that is to be the central bank, and name was also suggested, that is Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank should be the new central bank in India. The name was also suggested. That happened in 1927. In 1931, the Indian Central Banking Inquiry Committee, Indian Central Banking Inquiry Committee strongly recommended for immediate establishment of central bank. The first incident in 1927, Hilton Young Commission recommended the central bank. The name is, the suggested name was Reserve Bank. In 1931, the Indian Central Banking Inquiry Committee strongly recommended that immediately they had to establish the central bank. Consequently, that means that was suggested to establish the central bank immediately. Of course, at that moment, immediately it was not brought into force, but later on it came into force, came into action. Consequently, a bill was passed on 6th March 1934. The Reserve Bank of India Act was passed facilitating for the establishment of a new bank, that is the Reserve Bank of India. So in 1931, Indian Central Banking Inquiry Committee recommended for immediate establishment of central bank. On 6th March 1934, a bill was passed for the establishment of Reserve Bank of India. Next, the bank started functioning on 1st April 1935 at Calcutta. Of course, after the bill was passed, Reserve Bank was established and it started functioning on 1st April 1935 at Calcutta. The first office and was also the headquarters. The same head office was also at Calcutta. In 1937, the head office was shifted to Bombay. So, on 1st April 1935, Reserve Bank of India started functioning at Calcutta. The first office and head office was also there. Later, in 1937, head office was shifted to Bombay. Next, initially, Reserve Bank of India was a private shareholders. Actually, it was a private shareholders bank. Shares worth of rupees 5 crores were issued for public subscription. Of course, you know well about the issue of shares. The bank's capital, 5 crores capital was issued to public in the form of shares offered to the public. Of course, many times, a number of times or several times, that issue was oversubscribed. Oversubscribed means here the public applied for more number of shares than the bank, number of shares the bank had issued. Public asked for more number of shares than the number of shares the bank issued to public. So the bank was designed on the lines of Bank of England. Bank of England was the oldest central bank in the world. By following the lines of its establishment and other things, Reserve Bank of India was also designed. Next. The first governor of RBI was Mr. Osborne Smith in 1935-37. He held the office. First governor. Then we were in British government. Here we were under the British rule. The second governor, Mr. James Taylor, he was the architect of several activities, including the emblem of the RBI, the tiger and palm tree. The second governor, Mr. James Taylor, was very active and efficient, very highly talented, and he introduced many activities, unique activities. Some of them were, of course, they include the emblem of the RBI, the tiger and palm tree. They were suggested by James Taylor. The first Indian to be the governor of the RBI was C.D. Deshmukh between 1943 and 49. The first Indian governor to RBI. its nationalization, about the nationalization. The Reserve Bank was the first financial institution nationalized by the Government of India after independence. After getting independence, a nationalization process used to go on at that moment. So RBI was the first institution in India after independence, the nationalization that was nationalized. Reserve Bank of India became the public sector bank with effect from 1st January 1949. Now RBI is the corporate body and it is under the supervision of Ministry of Finance. RBI is under the supervision of Ministry of Finance, central government. Of course, the RBI is an autonomous institution and the finance minister assures that the government doesn't interfere in the internal administration of the bank. So it is an autonomous institution. Autonomous means, well, on its own, it can frame policies and implement policies. So the government doesn't interfere in its internal administration. Organization and management. The central office of the bank is located at Bombay. Already we discussed. In the beginning it was at Calcutta. Later it was shifted to Bombay. The central office is located at Bombay. The bank is managed by two boards. One is central board and four local boards, two parts of course. Local boards, central board. One central board and four local boards. Central board. The central board is at Bombay. This is the chief policy making body. All policies are framed out by the central board and they can exercise central board can exercise all the powers of the bank. Central board can exercise all the powers of the bank. It can implement all the policies. It can frame out all the rules. Of course, already framed out policies may be implemented, but this central board exercises all the powers. The board consists of governor, the highest authority of the bank's administration. Governor is the highest authority. And there will be four deputy governors. One governor and four deputy governors. Highest authority will be in the hands of governor. They are appointed by the Government of India for a term of 5 years. Governor and four deputy governors are appointed by the Government of India for a term of 5 years. The other members of the board are 4 directors and 1 government official. 14 directors. Sorry. The other members of the board are 14 directors and 1 government official nominated for a term of 4 years by the Senate. And 1 government official also. Totally 1 governor, 4 deputy governors, and the other members of the board are 14 directors and 1 government official nominated for a term of 4 years by the Senate. Local boards. There are 4 local boards representing 4 regions of India. There are 4 local boards from 4 regions. They are North region, South region, East region, and West region located in New Delhi, Madras, Calcutta, and Bombay respectively. It consists of 5 members including the chairman. At every region, 5 members will be holding the office. Out of the 5 members, one person will be the chairperson. Local boards are advisory in nature. They represent local problems to the central board. All the local boards, they represent their areas, their regions, and the problems in their regions. They represent the matters to central board. They carry out the work assigned to them by the central board. In the same way, some works may be assigned to the works or functions or plans, activities or policies, whatever they may be, they are assigned to local boards by the central board. These local boards carry out the work assigned to them. Departments. The internal organization of the bank is based on functional specialization. That means, according to the functions, organization is divided into various parts. That is for its smooth administration, smooth running, and efficient coordination, and various responsibilities are assigned to various departments. There are 22 departments, 3 training institutions, and 20 branch offices. This is all about Reserve Bank of India and how it was established, what is the brief story or what is the brief history consisting of a series of events we discussed in this session. Thank you for listening.